Beautiful angel, I have a spirit message for you today. And I also know if you are watching this, this message is for you. This message has found you for a reason. There are no such things as coincidences. And I know if you're here, you are guided. Spirit has this one message for you. Now, before I sat down to record, I had this clear vision, something about your future that you need to know. And in this vision, I saw many different roads, many different pathways. And I also see you now standing and deciding and making a decision which road to take, which path is your path. And it's not an easy choice. There are so many forces that are pulling you in many directions. There are many people who don't want you to choose the right path. And they want to distract you, they want to confuse you, they want to just prevent you from stepping into your true path. Now, when God has a purpose for you, a higher purpose, your soul has chosen this path, this life on planet Earth. You've chosen this. And also you chose the level of difficulty which requires you to go through different obstacles, tests, just to build your inner strength, just to build your character, just to use things like willpower, right? So God is training you for a destiny. And making choices often is just a test of strength. What is that strength? The message that came through is this, and I couldn't really write it down. Like, I had so many different parts to this message, but I had to figure it out. I figured it out. So God says, do not get discouraged and don't doubt. Just keep going. And the path itself just gets clearer and clearer. Sometimes, and that's what Spirit really wants you to know, God will give you not what you want, and not exactly what you want, but something that you need for this life's journey. And this is not just about this point in time. It's not about just now, your situations, your relationship right now. This is about the future. This is about your whole entire life. God is looking into your future, and there are certain things that you just don't see, you just don't know. You don't know what is going to happen in a day, in 3 days, in 10 years. Like, there is no way of knowing. But God is preparing you to walk in this path of uncertainty and trust. You trust me when you walk and you just have nothing but trust. I'll give you not what you want, because sometimes what you want is not your true desire. This could be other people's desire planted in your consciousness. They're like viruses and expectations. There are false things. So these false expectations will diminish your light. They will give you something in the moment, but you can miss out on a greatness, on a great opportunity in the future. Sometimes God gives you the test, not what you want, but something that is going to help you in the future, which will lead you to your destiny. Without a destiny, life has no meaning. Life has no purpose. Life is just existence. But when your soul is inspired by a greater adventure called life, you awaken your superpowers. You awaken something within you that you did not even know you had. So many years ago, when I was a child, I really wanted to become a ballet dancer. I wanted to have this dance, dance on stage and walk on my toes. And I dreamt of becoming this ballet dancer. I used to collect like magazines and cut out all the pictures of all famous ballerinas, and I was so deeply into it. But I wasn't built for the dream. I'm really tall. I'm almost 6 feet tall. And I had no chance. I remember once I even tried to get into the ballet school. They didn't even let me audition. Like, they looked at me and said, no, 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 you will never be a ballerina. Sorry, you gotta look into something else. Like, try basketball. Try basketball, but you will never become a dancer. And I remember feeling like my whole world was crushing down. I could never become a ballerina. Really, it was like the end of life. I have no reason for being here. It was the dream that I had. I wanted to be this glorious, beautiful, graceful swan dancing on stage. I was just fascinated by ballet and grace. I could not become a ballerina. Like, it was never in the stars for me. And I still remember, I was probably like 9, 10 years old, but I remember this crushing disappointment of somebody telling me in my face that I will never ever achieve my dream. So my love for dance, for ballet, still exists. If you look at my screenshots, there are a lot of, my phone, there's like 1,000 different screenshots of different moves in ballet. But anyways, so when I was probably 13 or 14, just because I was tall, I was scouted by a basketball coach. Randomly, somebody just walked up to me and said, you need to join our team. So the team was actually a semi-professional team that was operated in like the region where I lived at the time. So I joined the team. I was like, okay, if I can't do ballet, maybe I'm built for basketball. Look, I have all of the, composition. My body is really tall, and I can do, maybe I can throw the ball. Maybe that's what I'm here for. Maybe that's my passion. So I joined the team, but I was so bad at basketball. I sucked. I couldn't bounce that ball for my life. And also, I was in this group. I remember the team of girls I was with. They were much bigger than me. They were much taller than me. I'm 6 feet, like I'm 5'11", and they were even taller than me. Like, they were giants. And not only they were big, but they were also very muscular. They were, professional basketball players. And I was skinny. I didn't have the coordination. I didn't have like the motor skills to work around like the team. I was not built for basketball, even though it looked like I had all of the data of becoming a basketball player. So I remember like 3, 4 years me being a part of that team. I spent half of my training sitting on the bench with a nosebleed because I would get hit in my face every single time, either by someone's hand or by a basketball or by moving too fast, by smashing into something. It was not going well. And I remember like sitting there and feeling like a complete failure. I could not be good at anything. That's how it felt. Basketball was never my dream. I wanted to be a ballerina. But then, with time, I learned one of the most important skills. I could not compete with these girls. I could not play on their level. They were much stronger than me. They were throwing the ball much farther than me. But I couldn't compete with them. So I couldn't reach the height. Like, I couldn't work on the high level. So I knew I could work closer to the floor. So I realized my strength was that the closer I was to the floor, it was easier for me to bounce the ball and also sneak around. Like I could move around. I could not go higher because then someone else would just overlap me. But then if I could stay lower to the ground and I was fast, I realized, okay, this girl can run. I could run fast. And when I ran, it was just difficult for them to keep up with me running. So I've learned the skills not to fight the reality, but actually use this to my advantage. And when I got closer to the ground, when I stopped competing, to throw the ball into the basket, when I realized that's where my game is, that's where I'm good at, I can move quickly, I can make things happen. And I fell in love with basketball. I saw my place. I saw where I found the place where I belonged in the team. And everything just kind of made sense to me. It was so much easier. It was still difficult. I would still get hit all the time. And my nose, don't get me started on this. But I was reminded about how sometimes God does not give you what you want, but you will receive a new assignment where you will be trained for something for your future self, where you need to develop certain skills. So ballet was never the path for me to develop myself as a person. I would never run so fast. I would never be able to dunk my head. I would never be able to stand tall and face someone's massive presence, teamwork, basketball games, just the group work in the team was my lesson. I learned to cooperate, I learned to collaborate, I learned to play as a team. So many valuable things. It's because God has prepared me for the work of the future. And this is the work I'm doing today, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. When my family moved, I had to leave this basketball team. And I remember my coach was almost crying. She was, felt like my quest, my personal journey, and my struggles. She knew about everything. Like she could see me sometimes struggling so much and working extra hard than most people on the team, and she saw that. So when I was leaving, she opened up and she said how much she was proud of me and how she saw me, growing as a woman, as a young woman, as a person. And it felt for her like that was her job, to train me to do this hard work of training my character for the future. And that was the greatest gift that she gave me. So the message for you maybe this today is that sometimes God is going to give you a test. This test is required for you to go into your future, create your destiny, and reach new potentials, because you're capable, because you're able, and because there is a price at the end, but because of everything that you are going to become during this process.